What's this? Almost an hour wasted. Will we get to? Head smoothly into the left wall of the plastic, full steering to the right to keep the most speed around the wall. Over the jump, you can angle the car already to the left a bit and aim at the green 5 in the distance. Air brake when the car is flat to get a good landing. You're trying to land with some wheels on the road section so that you can grip and turn sharply into the plastic uphill, where you will need to exit on the left onto the sausage block. 22. Drop down to the right, aiming at the yellow arrows. Air brake as you leave the road to keep the car flat-ish. And hopefully full speed around, or do a quick brake tap to drift around through to the checkpoint. I sure hope so, but... Jump into the plastic wall hug as smoothly as possible, full steering already to the left. Head up to the top right of the slope, full steering to the left into the next wall hug, before dropping down smoothly onto the platform slope, again with an air brake once you are happy with the car's rotation. Head up the grass slope smoothly, slightly to the left of centre to avoid airtime. Turn into the plastic and try to turn right around the plastic as early as possible where the slope transition is. Careful here though, as if you do it slightly too low you will get yeeted off. Steer gently around the gap in the plastic. You can full speed the pipe if you are confident you can get the wheels far down into the left of the corner, but there is no need as the auto time is very lenient. I opted for a quick release before getting back on the gas once I knew I was making it. Off the pipe jump I always had a different speed, so it is difficult to say what landing you will get. Here I opted for an air brake to make the back wheels hit the ground, forcing the nose to come down almost too quickly. Make sure you are headed up the plastic ever so slightly towards the right. This will allow you a bit more room to steer to the left past the hole before steering right into the corner of the plastic wall hug. Full steer to the left around it. At the bottom the car will slightly leave the wall. Before it finishes, full steer to the right immediately there, as this was the only way that I could get the car to avoid the obstacles on the left on the exit. Turn right avoiding the grass and aim into the far left corner of the wall hug, avoiding the plastic gaps on the right. Full steer right around the wall hug for just a second, and then full steer to the left on the way down through the checkpoint. This will get you over to the road on the left. In theory. As you can see, this was another mistake. I didn't get to the road and had to fight my way clumsily up the platform slopes to head through the checkpoint into the green section. If you do get to the road on the left, you can full speed up the road slope on the right and jump almost all of the way into the checkpoint. Obviously a very bad start. The green section has all of the awkward pipes, so just take it slow if you're not comfortable on them. For the first one, just release into the first left-hand part. Then, for all of the pipes with rotating blocks, you want to be slightly to the side of where the rotation is coming from. I was even too far left on this first one. Then the rotation will bring you naturally back online. You should then be able to get the car low and right, mostly full speed into the next two right pipe corners before heading full speed off the end into the road slope down. A small break from all the crazy driving now. Head up through the chute, aiming out slightly to the left and start turning ever so slightly to the right on the exit. Hold brake on landing for a quick drift to the right where you want to go smoothly up the slope to the right. Then you can stay mostly on the road as you full speed round to the left, go straight through the chicane before turning tight to the right into the plastic and heading towards the next pipe. Don't have to push anything just yet, but... Again, do the pipes in a speed that is okay for you. The auto time is lenient enough. Dip down slightly into the direction of the corner, then get ever so slightly to the side of the rotating block where the rotation is coming from for it to naturally bring you back online. Dip down slightly again into the right, left and right corners before getting back on the gas for the checkpoint. And rinse and repeat. Release as much as you need to. Dip down to the right for the corner, allow the rotating block to catch you and bring you back onto the pipe. Dip down for the left corner, allow the rotating block to catch you and bring you back up onto the pipe. And then I found it was quite easy to maintain the small dip into the left-hander and full speed all the way to the next checkpoint. Air brake as you leave the road drop down to get a flat landing and have the car slightly angled to the right as you do so. Full speed around the glass to the right and then again to the left on the platform before lining up for the next pipe. Again, move to the inside of the pipe for the right-hander, then make sure to turn off the pipe to the left at the end so that you can smoothly steer around the pool on the right, and then steer smoothly round to the right, climbing the platform slope smoothly without airtime at the top. Runs have messed up this transition. If you avoided airtime on the platform, you should have enough speed to leave the quarter pipe to the right relatively early for a low landing on the other side. Keep steering to get into the right of the checkpoint on landing, then full steer to the left. I found that a quick drift around the gap in the middle gave me the perfect line to set up for the next pipe entry. Finally, the last of the awkward green pipes. Dip left into the left corner, then stay slightly left of centre, allowing the rotating block to bring you back online. Dip slightly to the right and then to the left for those two turns, and then full speed off the end down onto the road slope. I air brake slightly too early for the correct rotation here, but you get the idea. So far a very good run. Blue section now, head smoothly into the plastic wall and full steer to the right for the most speed around the wall hug. Head up the plastic slope a little further to the right than I did to avoid airtime over the top. But I've said something positive. Head up the plastic slope to the left and cross over the top a little bit more parallel than I was for a smoother transition. Carefully avoid these plastic edges as you turn to the right, or you will get yeeted off here. Jump up the next plastic slope aiming for the checkpoint. Climb the final plastic slope a lot more parallel than I did to avoid losing your speed. Yeah. You can full speed the straight bits of plastic, but I chose to go a little slower. You can also already be aiming left over the middle hop to help you corner into the next checkpoint. The slope section at the end will also help you turn if needed. Turn left around the checkpoint and then to the right to aim down for the next pipe. I chose to release a lot for this lineup. Again, go at your own speed, the author time is lenient enough. Dip down into the pipe left hand and full speed over the end into the road slope on the exit. For the next quarter pipe, aim to be a little further up away from the curved section than I was on this first attempt, or you will get this rotation and fail the landing. You should also not release at all. You want to get far into the landing slope in order to be able to line up for the following grass and plastic slope section with maximum speed. Backwards and head down the slope more from the left than I did to avoid airtime and preserve speed for the plastic uphill, dodging the obstacles as you go on the left, then the right, then the left again, turning at the top more parallel than I did for a smoother transition over the top. Turn to the right, avoiding the plastic edges, or you will get yeeted off here. Aim slightly left of centre on the pipe so that the rotating block brings you back online. It is easy enough to full speed this pipe. Then head off the end of the road slightly angled to the left without ramp cutting it like I did. You can then do a small drift on landing around to the left. Turn down the slope a little bit more to the right than I did here. Aim up for the centre of the ring checkpoint. Through some combination of steering and releasing to get exactly the right distance on the jump, I understand that the correct way of doing this is to get a bug slide on landing all the way around the road at the end. But I always ended up hitting the ring checkpoint and losing my run, so I just safe it and get some kind of straight middle distance, recovering and making my way around the road to the left. Aim into the sloped upper section of the quarter pipe landing to keep it smooth, then use the grass and drift around quite tight into the checkpoint. Keep turning around tight to the left and aim to get smoothly onto the road at the end using the top left edge of the ramp. I think the intended path here was under the road and up another quarter pipe, but I realised very quickly that you can just jump up gently to the checkpoint. If you have enough room, you can easily turn the car around before continuing down the slope, or sometimes even the car lands the correct way round. Or you can just make the quick decision to do a double respawn before heading off down the slope to line up for the red pipe. Line up a little left of centre, allow the rotating block to bring you back over to the right, dip down to the right for the pipe right turn, then full speed off the end for a smooth landing into the road slope. Head up the road wall diagonally to the right and around the gap to the left. Keep heading up a little into the screen at the top before turning tightly down to the left for the next checkpoint. It's going to be close actually. Turn a little bit more to the right on the grass than I did to avoid airtime over the transition. Enter the quarter pipe from the right a lot earlier than I did, and then aim out and down from the left middle of the quarter pipe. Here you can release in order to get an earlier landing as you head left through the next checkpoint. You can be a lot closer to the left turn than I was to avoid losing turning speed on the grass. Either way, turn tight to the left through the first and then tight to the right through the second checkpoint of this chicane before heading smoothly into the middle of the plastic. Turn right again, avoiding the plastic edges or you will get yeeted off. Then aim a lot better than I did and full speed off the plastic, onto and off the end of the yellow pipe onto the platform slope below. Turn right on the road, heading for the thin road blocks. If you have enough speed, you can land on the thin road one to the right of where I landed. I probably had enough speed, but I chose to safe it due to my previous error. Head a little up the slope on the right, transition smoothly into the plastic and then again off the plastic onto the road below with an air brake to keep the rotation flat. Head only slightly up into the final quarter pipe, just enough to get the car aiming down and to the left. Here you can and indeed need to full release for the early landing away from the wall to get the left turn through the checkpoint before straightening out for the cinematic finish. You are still in full control here, so keep it straight all the way to the finish. 18!